this is Miss Ford. Since I'm not here, I'm going to try to help you through the notes that we have to work through today. So to get us started, make sure you write your name, make sure you write the date and the page number, and make sure you write it in your table of contents. So do that now, really quickly. If you need to stop the video, that's fine. Stop it so you can write the page number and fill out your table of contents. Oh, my cat wants to say hi. Say hi. Okay, so first things first. We have our example. On your paper it says 72% is equal to, and you need to fill in the decimal place. So there's your example. Take a look. Now let's look at the next one. 25%. If I want to write that as a decimal, I'm going to write that as 0.25. Now stop the tape and do the rest. Stop the tape and do all of the rest of them. I mean it. Stop the video. All right, now that you've finished every single one, let's take a look at the answers. So let's take a look. Number 3, 50% is the same thing as 0.50. 75% is the same as 0.75. 35% is the same as 0.35. 12% is the same as 0.12. Now this is where it gets a little bit difficult. 6%. I need to move the decimal place 2 to the left. So I'm moving the decimal place 2 to the left. 1, 2. That gives me a 0. So the answer is 0.06. Okay, next up. 4%. Same thing. Move the decimal place 1, 2 to the left. That's equal to 0.04. Okay, number 9. 112%. Same thing. Move it 1, 2 to the left. That gets me 1.12. Okay, next up. 0.5%. This one already has a decimal place, so I need to move it 2 to the left so that as a decimal it would be 0.005. Next one. Move it 2 to the left, so my decimal place 2.45. And this, the last one, number 12, 0.06. So I need to move that decimal place 1, 2 to the left. 0.0006 should be the answer. So take a look. See if what you have is correct or incorrect. If you're not sure, ask someone at your table to explain. The reason that it works is 72%. That really means 72 out of 100. So to write it as a decimal, if I divided it in my calculator, I would get 0.72, which means 72 hundredths. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next part. Now that we know how to make everything as a decimal, we're going to move on. Okay, so our first problem. What is 51% of 80? What is 51% of 80? So first things first, we're going to fill out our estimate column. Fill out all of our estimates. Okay, if I'm going to estimate, well, 50%, that's pretty close, almost the same as 50%. 51%, it's like just about 50%. So if I wanted 50% of 80, how much would that be? 50% of 80. Well, that's about 40. So if I'm going to estimate 51%, should that be more or less than 40? Should 51% be more or less if 50% is 80? Well, it's got to be a little bit more. So my estimate's going to be 41. Pretty close. Now you do the same thing. Make the estimates for 2% of 36, 99% of 35, 26% of 20, and 35% of 10. Now stop the tape and make your estimates. Fill in these 4. Okay, now that you've made all of your estimates, should have an answer here, 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 and here. Let's check our answer. So let's find the exact answer. Okay, so if I want to find exactly how much 51% of 80 is, I'm going to write 0.51, because 51% is a decimal, is 0.51, times 80. I'm going to put it in my calculator. 0.51 times 80. I'm going to put it in my fancy calculator. And if I put it in my calculator, I get the answer 40.8. So my exact answer is 40.8. So what do you think? Was my estimate pretty good or no? 40.8 seems pretty close to 41. I think I did a pretty good job. Okay, now stop the tape and do all of the rest. Stop the tape and fill in the rest so you can check your answer later. No copying. Copying's like throwing your brain in the trash can. So try these, stop the video, and then come back and check your answers after you finish. Okay, so let's check our answers. See if you got the same thing I did. 0.72 for 2% of 36. 0.99 times 35. 99% of 35. 34.62. Oh wait, 0.65. Made a mistake. The next one, 26% of 20. 5.2. 35% of 10, 3.5. So take a look at your answers, and then look at what your estimates were. Were you close? Were you far? How good of a job are you doing of approximating? Take a look, check your answers. Okay, now, next part. Got some fill in the blank. Mental math review. Mental math. That's like, how can you make your brain estimate percents? To compute percents in your head, fill in each of the blanks. So stop the video now, and after you fill it in, come back to check your answers. Fill in all of the blanks, stop the video, and then come back later and check your answers. Okay, let's take a look. Our answers. 50% is a half, so we divide by 2. To find 25% in my head is a half of a half, or we can divide by 4. To find 10%, we divide by 10. To find 5%, now this one is where we haven't talked about yet. This is the part we haven't talked about yet. 5%. 5% is half of 10%. 5% is half of 10%. So if I want to find 5%, first I divide by 10 to get 10%. And then I divide the 10% by 2. So if I wanted to find 5% of any number, first I find 10%. Well, that's easy. I just divide by 10. When I found 10%, I divide it by 2. So what would happen for 20%? How can I find 20%? What do you think? What should I start with to find 20%? What's an easy number to work with? 10%. So first I find 10%, and because 10% times 2, 10% times 2 is 20%, then I can multiply my 10% times 2 to get 20%. All right, you've finished your notes. You're going to need your notes to do the next activity on IXL, so make sure you keep your notes out. And that's it for the video.